Alright guys, so this is basically my Machina deck, my own custom one for Yu-Gi-Oh! So let's get right into it. So first of all, going to be playing 3 copies of Machina Citadel. This is pretty good because you can special summon it with Machina Overdrive or Machina Soldier. And it's really good. It's level 10, has 3,000 attack points. And so that's pretty good. And next up, you'll play 2 copies of Metal Cruncher. And you can just normal summon this card when you have no face-up cards. And it's level 9. And it's got good attack points. There's 2,800 attack points. But later you'll see why I really play this in the deck. Then next up, 3 copies of Air Raider. It's got really good defense points. So it's good for defending and it's good for special summoning. Then next up, you'll play 2 copies of Machina Irradiator. Then 2 copies of Machina Fortress. 2 copies of Megaform. It's basically like your high level Machina monsters. But that's not all the monsters. And so next up, you have Machina Gear Frame. 3 copies, because you can equip it for a nice little boost. And then next up, 3 copies of Snowplow Hustle Rustle. Yeah, I should play Express Bullet Train, but it's so expensive, and this is almost like a budget deck, almost, because this deck costed like 35 quid, so that's a huge save. But next up, oh god, next up you're playing 3 copies of Machina Soldier. Oh god, I've got to move this stuff. And then you play 2 copies of Torque Tuning Gear. You guys should see where this is going. Then 2 copies of Scrap Recycler. Then next up, you're going to be playing. I play the gadgets in here because they're pretty. They're just good. So you've got obviously gold gadget. You've got silver gadget. You've got yellow gadget, green gadget, and then red gadget. You've just got all the gadgets that can like add and special summon from each other. So that's very useful. So, yeah, they're pretty useful because you can, like, link summon. And you can combo with Torque Tuning Gear. So, that's all the monsters. Next up, we have spells. And so, you've got 3 copies of Machina Redeployment. You've got 1 copy of Unauthorized Reactivation to equip a Union monster to one of your monsters. from your deck, so that's useful if you're in like a bit of a struggle almost. 2 copies of Machina Defense Perimeter, since this is a continuous spell. But you play 3 copies of Machina Armored Unit. So that's pretty much like all the Machina spells. So they're very useful. Next up, you want to play just 2 copies of Limiter Removal. I don't go for 3 because it's not worth it, in my opinion. However, it is worth it to play 3 copies of Supply Squad. And then also 3 copies of Cosmic Cyclone. And yeah, you're going to be banishing your opponent's cards to, like, and paying life points, but you'll see what I'm about to do and why I play this. Next up, you want to play 3 copies of Iron Draw, then finally 2 copies of Pot of Avarice. They're pretty useful since decks like Machina have a lot of monsters in, so they're good for shuffling and drawing. Next up are traps, but first I'm going to start with the hand traps. So you have 3 copies of Effect Veiler, they're good for negating effects, and now 3 copies of Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood, and that's how you gain life points back. So that's nice and that's really good. Then 1 copy of Machina Risk Avenger, because you never know what could happen, and it's a good card anyway. Now the real traps. So I've got 3 copies of Machina Overdrive. I've got 3 copies of Cyber Summon Blaster. Then you have 2 copies of Back to the Front. And then finally, to go with the gadgets, 1 copy of Stronghold Removing Fortress. And so, yeah, not much in regards to traps. Although, who really cares? Now, finally, the extra deck. Now, this has got Lynx, Synchro, and Xyz monsters. So, I'll start off with Lynx. We've got Platinum Gadget, got Infinitrack Goliath, Scrap Wyvern, and Double-Headed Anganacle. 4 Link monsters, that's pretty equal. And you'll see why I've got an Infinitrack Link monster in there just in a bit. And the only 2 synchros you need: Scrap Dragon for Scrap Cycler and Draco Berserker for Tenyi, just because they're pretty good. Now the Xyz monsters. So you'll play Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max because it's good in a pinch, and you can overlay Citadel and Snowplow Hustle Rustle. And next you've got Infinitrack Earth Slicer to link summon Infinitrack Goliath, and you've also got Infinitrack Mountain Smasher, and finally you have Phantom Fortress Enter Blafnir, because this is good for banishing cards. And yeah, and so yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck and for today's video, guys. This is the first video on my channel. Yami gets this, and please watch it because I barely get any views and it sucks. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys later.